What's up guys, it's the Redhawk director and welcome to my first fan voted track review. This time we've got Blackout by Pegboard Nerds, and the structure of this is going to be quite a bit different. It's hopefully going to be a lot shorter. I'm not going to be going on a run through every single little aspect of the song, because frankly not all songs deserve that. A lot of them, especially this one that I'm talking about now, I wouldn't have a whole ton to talk about anyway. I'd just be kind of filling the air with some words, I guess. But I've got a plan on how I'm gonna do this. You'll see throughout the video what the plan is. Basically, this is how I'm gonna structure this. But I'm willing to listen to positive feedback and I guess negative feedback, and add or get rid of some topics. I guess not really topics, but it's more structure. But anyway, that's basically. You'll see how this works. So the way I'm going to do this is every time I review a song or an artist for the first time, I'll give a little short detail of how they are. So Pegboard Nerds, they've been around for quite a while, so it's quite fitting that they're the first artist that I get to do this with. They debuted in 2012 with Gunpoint, and their first 2 years on the label, they were easily one of the best artists. They experimented with genres such as bro step, electro house, moombacore, glitch hop, drum step, and whatever rocktronic was. And then their 2014 got weird. They went up and down a lot that year in the golden age of Monstercat, some will say. And they had some pretty big hits such as Emergency, Here It Comes, and especially Hero. But they had some songs with less positive receptions, with bassline kicking, Bad Boy, and New Style. 2015 was their best year in my opinion. They had Bring the Madness, Try This, Swamp Thing, and the Pink Cloud EP, all of which I think are very good, if not fantastic. And then 2016 was their worst year in my opinion, with a lot of bro step. This was one of their only two house songs of 2016, the other one being Melody Mania in December. The rest was either dubstep or drum step until the Nerds by Nature EP. 2017 has been better for them so far, but we'll see how it ends. But yeah, this was on the Nerds by Nature EP, but it was also on the 5-year anniversary. It was the Nerds feature on there. So the genre here is big room house. I generally don't like big room house, but this has more going on than your standard song in this genre. This isn't your United or What You Waiting For or Just Wait For, whether it's a very standard big room lead and not really much else. This is a bit different. Now the structure of this song it's pretty standard, honestly. I'm not going to have a whole ton to talk about in this section for most songs, but it's just there to kind of give you a little bit of an outline of how it's going to be. This one has two drops that are very similar. There's no vocals except for the Blackout pre-drop phrase, and the off drop is very abbreviated, with most of it either being build up or breakdown. As far as the production goes, I can't really find anything wrong with this song at all. The lead is good, and it's a little bit different for big room, although it sounds a little bit weird as far as like it's like almost sounds out of tune. The beat and the bass are both good. I can't complain about either. Now as far as the off drop goes, it actually builds quite an interesting atmosphere. And I love the melody that gets introduced in the build-up. So overall, the off-drop is good. It's just very short. The Pegboard Nerds don't really do much with this. It's just, quick atmosphere, and then all of a sudden you're in a build-up. And then you're in the drop. The drop here is a little bit lacking. It's still easily one of the better big room tracks, especially because it's actually got some sort of substance, but there's not much really going on. The change in the lead in the second half of both drops are really cool and it adds variety. However, I don't really love how either of them sound, to be honest. Blackout, it's kind of fitting that the first song I don't really have a whole ton to talk about. My best comparison for this track is Emergency by the Pegboard Nerds. Both of them are big room from them, but with their own twist. Very different from anything else within the genre I've heard. Both songs have an interesting off drop and a banging drop. However, I prefer Emergency by quite a bit. I think both drops are different enough. I like the lead in Emergency more, plus the vocals in Emergency are top notch in my opinion. Finally, we'll get into positives and negatives. My three positives are that the off drop is great and atmospheric. The melodies used all throughout the song are good, even the ones in the drop. I didn't really mention those. The lead's a little bit weird, but the melody's kind of cool, even if it's very one-note-esque. And finally, the best part of the song is the build-up, in my opinion. It's great. It builds hype. Overall, I'm a fan of it. Now, the biggest negatives, in my opinion, are that the drop is a bit underwhelming, doesn't really vary until too late, and the song doesn't really change very much. It's very samey throughout, even though I like most of it. This is personally the most underwhelming song to me on the 5-year anniversary. It's not a song that necessarily caters to me, and overall, it's kind of weird that the first song I got to review is probably the song I have the least to talk about, if any song I've reviewed, at least as far as modern Monstercat goes. However, I still think it's a solid song. I do give it a 5.5 out of 10. It's not bad by any means, but at the same time, it could be a lot better. Now for the fun part, the next vote. It'll be in the description as well as the comments. We've got Bloodlip by Matt Duke featuring Vila off of 007. We've got Jingle Bells by Hellberg, which is actually off the 2012 Christmas album. It's another big room song if you guys want to put me through hell again. We've got Bassline Kickin' by Pegboard Nerds off of 016 by the Electro House and Breaks. We've got Swapping Things by Toby, also Electro House off of Uncaged Volume 1, song I had planned on reviewing at some point anyway. And finally, Rat Twist by Pixel, Breaks off of Monstercat 016. So I personally know which one I would prefer, and you guys should know it too. But vote however you want. Vote based on what you think will make the most interesting review. Vote based on what you'd watch and what you're interested in. And remember, you can vote for more than one. Not really a point to voting for all 5, but you can do that if you want. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this review.